Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Stock Talk. If you guys are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Julie. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. In today's episode, I want to talk to you guys about how to navigate through the current market conditions. You might be a brand new investor, meaning you actually have not even started investing because you've been watching the news and you've been watching everything going on in the stock market and you kind of like, I don't really know if I should be investing right now because everything is going downhill and it's kind of scary, especially if you're not familiar with the stock market. Or you might be someone that already started investing maybe 6 months ago or a year ago and you've been seeing your account crumble. I actually had a lot of friends and family members reach out to me because they're panicking because everything is down. The stock market has been on the downward trend since last year, I think in November, December, and continued into this year. We did have a few really nice weeks beginning of April. However, the stock market today closed, I think it was around 417. I'm not exactly sure. We are in a bear market, and the bear market usually lasts anywhere from 9 to 12 months. So it's kind of scary. So in this video, I want to go ahead and give you some tips if you are a brand new investor on how you should start investing and what you should be doing and prepare yourself before you do start investing. And towards the end, I want to give you some tips for the investors that already been in the market, that have started investing and they are down on the portfolio, or perhaps they really want to add to their portfolio, but they're not sure if they should. So I want to give you some tips on how to do that and buy stocks even cheaper than they currently are trading at. So if you are that brand new investor that has never invested and you really want to invest in the stock market, but you don't know if you should and how you should do that, I want to give you a few tips to prepare yourself to set yourself up for success. So my first tip for you is be sure that you have an emergency fund set up. You might think, well, that has nothing to do with trading. Well, let me tell you. You want to be sure that you have an emergency set up because the last thing that you want to have to do is liquidate your stock position, and then if you're down on your stocks, sell them for a loss just so that you have access to the funds in case you have an emergency. Let's say you lose your job, or let's say you have a car repair that needs to be done, or you have something going on in your house, and either way, whatever the case might be, you need emergency funds. That's why you want to have an emergency fund saved up, because you never know when you need that extra emergency money, right? So if you can, try to save 1 year's worth of emergency. If that's not doable, because I know that's a lot of money, try to save at least 3 to 6 months. That's a minimum that everyone really should have saved up, regardless if they're investing in the stock market or not. So 3 to 6 months, if you can't do 12 months, have that emergency fund. Then my next suggestion, if you have a pile of credit card debt, be sure that you guys pay off all your credit cards. That interest, and I'm sure you're going to be paying interest on those credit cards, is piling up and you are wasting money every month. It is really hard to put extra money into the stock market when you have a pile of credit card over here and you're just trying to pay that off. It's really, really hard. Instead, tackle all your credit cards, pay them off, and then once you have them all paid off, you'd be surprised how much money you have left over every month. And that money you can actually now take and put towards your investments. This way, just like with the emergency fund, you don't have to liquidate your investments in case you need to have money to pay your credit cards, Because I know if you have a salary of $50,000, that might seem a lot to some, but really by the time you pay all of your bills, there's really not that much money left over. So therefore, go ahead, pay off your credit card debt, and then you have money left over that you can start investing into the stock market. Which brings me to my third point. Be sure that you go through all your monthly expenses. Make sure you eliminate anything that you guys don't need. If you have 5 subscriptions like Hulu, Disney, HBO Max, Disney, and Sling, or whatever is out there, do you really need all of those subscriptions? Probably not. So go ahead and eliminate the ones that you don't need, and then just save 1 or 2 that you think you can't do without, and take that extra money and put it towards your credit cards or put it towards your emergency fund. And then you go through all your other expenses. Maybe you can actually refinance your car. Maybe you can save on your car insurance or refinance your house. Or maybe you don't need that coffee that you're buying every day. Just go through all your expenses and also go through all your credit card statements, because sometimes we are paying for subscriptions we don't even realize that we're paying for. So try to eliminate as much debt as you can. Okay, so now we have built up an emergency fund. we have eliminated our credit card debt, and we are saving money in our subscriptions. So now we have money to invest in the stock market. Now, a lot of people will tell you only invest what you can afford to lose. However, I think that's stupid, because if you're going into the stock market with the mindset that you're only going to invest what you can afford to lose, why not go to the casino, have a drink, and gamble your money away if you're thinking you're only going to invest what you can afford to lose? No, go with the mindset into the stock market of, I will only invest the money that I do not need for the next 1 to 5 years. Because if you are investing for the next 1 to 5 years, maybe even 10 years, and probably longer than that. So you only want to invest money that you don't need right away, not money that you can afford to lose. That's just entirely stupid, because you really don't want to go into the stock market gambling your money away. Instead, you want to see a return on your money. So have the mindset you're only going to invest money that you don't need for the next 1 to 5 years, which brings me back to the point, which is why you need to have an emergency fund, which is why you have to have your credit cards paid off, and which is why you should eliminate as much expenses as you can. So now that we have that money saved up, you have opened your account. Don't put all of your money into all of the stocks right away. Don't do that. What you want to do is pick, I don't know, 5 to 10 companies that you guys are familiar with. There's the S&P 500. They have 500 stocks in the S&P 500. Go through the list if you like. If you don't want to go through the entire list, I made some videos about some really great stocks that I think are really worth investing into right now. I will link the videos down below so you guys can check that out and see if any of those stocks resonate with you and whether or not you want to invest in those. But anyhow, only invest into stocks that you guys are familiar with. Don't invest in stuff that you never heard of. Invest in Apple, invest in Microsoft, invest in Nvidia, invest in Disney. So invest in proper companies that you guys are familiar with. You know what you are buying, and guess what? When you buy that share, you are now a stockholder. You own a little piece of that company. So isn't that great, knowing you own a little tiny piece of Disney or Coca-Cola? I mean, I think that's much better than buying XYZ and you have no idea what that is. So once you have established the stocks that you want to invest in, then you gradually start investing in it. You don't go ahead and put all of your money into all of them right away. You gradually add, because as we've seen, the stocks go up, they go down, and you want to make sure that you have the best possible price. So you start investing, I don't know, maybe once a month, once every 3 weeks, once every 2 weeks, weekly, whatever, but just don't invest all of your money at once, because when you do a gradual investment, you actually are able to average your cost, and typically you average your cost down. So that is the benefit of doing that. Now, if you guys don't know when is a good time to invest in the stock, like you don't know if the stock is trading too high or too low, I made some videos on how you can find support and resistance that kind of helps you with the guidelines, as talks about the different moving averages. So that is what I usually go by. So check out that video. I will also link that in the description below so that you guys can get a better idea on when you should be investing into those different stocks. Which brings me to my next point. Like I said earlier in the video, right now the stock market can be looking very scary, and you might be thinking, no, I don't want to invest in the stock market right now because everything is going down. Well, this is the perfect opportunity for you guys to invest into these companies. Remember, a bear market or correction, we are borderline correction bear market right now. If we take a look at the SPY, the Qs has been in the bear market. They have come out of the bear market. I mean, it's just a roller coaster. But on average, if you look on the history of the stock market, you can see that the bear market typically lasts only 9 to 12 months. That's what they say is the average on a bear market, which means if you guys are taking advantage of the low pricing right now, and like I said, you gradually start entering into your position, and if you see the stock dipping another 10%, 15%, then you add to your position so that you are getting the best possible price. You will not get the lowest price for sure. I mean, if you're lucky, you might, but this way you're also not getting the highest price because you are constantly adding to your position on dips. So that's what you want to do. But think about it, if the bear market only lasts 9 to 12 months and you are starting to invest now, well, what do you think your portfolio is going to look like in 2 to 3 years? Because remember, we're investing for the long term. We're investing for 1 to 5 years. So I'm sorry for the noise, that is my cat in the background. So, you're investing for the long term. So don't be afraid to start investing now. As a matter of fact, when the stock market is down, when it's a bear market, that's the best possible time for you guys to start investing into the stock market. Additionally, take advantage of dividend stocks. Take advantage of deep discounted dividend stocks. There are tons of dividend stocks right now that are trading really low, that pay you monthly or quarterly dividends. Take advantage of those stocks. Start investing on those stocks. And if you guys don't know where to look for those, I also made some videos about those. I will link them in the description below as well. I hope I gave you newbies some good pointers on how to start investing and setting yourself up properly. Now, if you've been in the stock market for some time, maybe 6 months or a year, which obviously it's still fairly new, and you saw the amazing bull run and now you're stuck with all your stocks being down, I want to give you some tips on what you can be doing. Now, if you still want to invest in the stock market, you can actually purchase stocks right now even cheaper than what they're trading currently. And you can do that by selling cash secured puts. Now, I'm not going to go in entire detail on how cash secured puts work on this video because it's just too long. I will actually make a separate video for that, which I've been meaning to do, and I will link that in the description box below so that you guys can learn how to sell cash secured puts. But if you already been trading for a while, you probably kind of are familiar with cash secured puts is. So that is a great opportunity for you guys to purchase even stocks cheaper than what they're trading at. I do cash secured puts as well, and I go out maybe 3-6 months because I think, well, I want to get the stock even cheaper and I don't mind waiting for it. And if I don't get a sign, then guess what? I'm collecting a premium on top of that. So cash secured puts are actually a really great tool to purchase stocks even cheaper than what they are trading, especially in a bear market, because the stocks are already beaten down and you can get them potentially cheaper. I mean, how amazing is that, right? I have a really favorite trader who says, no one stands in line when the stock market is on sale. And I love that because, yeah, you're right. I mean, the mall is on sale and everybody's in line, but the stock market is on sale and nobody's online because nobody wants to go and buy anything because they're scared. But historically, we've seen that the stock market always pumps right back up, right? Anyways, another thing that you can do is if you are currently in positions and you own 100 shares, you can sell cover calls against your shares. I do that and I go out again the same way I go with cash secured puts. I sell them out 3 months, 6 months, even a year out, especially if it's a nice premium, and I collect the money and then I have additional money that I can now actually take and reinvest into something else, or perhaps use that money and set up for my cash secured put. Kind of use that money to even get that same stock even cheaper. So it's just kind of like a cycle that you can do, but definitely try to hedge against the funds by selling cash secured puts. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys. I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you have that one friend that is losing all of their money, have them take a look at this. And don't panic sell. That's the last thing you want to do. If you're already down 30, 40, 50%, what's the point at this point, right? You just have to wait it out, sell cash secured puts. All right, I'll see you guys in my next video.